Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Oracle Wisdom. Sorry, I'm just closing down some windows so I can actually see my screen properly. I hope that everybody is well and getting ready for this New Year's Eve that is upon us. I can't believe it's tomorrow. My family in Australia are gathering right now so it's 5:08 p.m. in Australia right now. So everyone's starting their New Year's Eve celebrations already. So 2025 is here. It is upon us. So a couple of things before we get going, and while we've got people joining the live on both YouTube and High Vibe. So the monthly Oracle Wisdom is already up on my YouTube channel. And if you're looking for that YouTube channel, the username is at Weekly Oracle Wisdom. Find it there. The monthlies always go up on the YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to that. That went up just before we started this live, so go and find out what the month ahead is going to hold for you. The readings, as always, because I did pick a pile once again, incredible. The cards blow my mind, and there were a couple of the piles where different decks threw out extra cards more than what I wanted, but I let them stay in the deck because I figured if they jumped out, they needed to be said. And as it turned out, they were very impactful cards that were very relevant to the reading. So go and check those out. You've got 3 piles. I always put the timestamps in the description below so you can jump right ahead and just watch the pile that you picked, unless, of course, you want to watch all of them. The other thing that I'm going to let you know, Anne and I have our first show of Gemini Rising coming up. That's on the Natalie Sadie YouTube channel. We are doing that on Wednesday, the 8th of January. And so we are going to do a look back at our favorite episodes, our favorite guests, and have clips and fun things like that. And then we will launch into the new year. We've got some incredible people lined up that we're really excited to speak to, and we think that you will all really enjoy those conversations. And Anne on New Year's Day is doing a very special episode with Gemini Brett. So that's going to be on his YouTube channel. So make sure you head over and support Anne and Gemini Brett because he's a favorite of ours. So seeing Anne and Gemini Brett together is always amazing. So make sure you check all of that out. So let's get into the weekly Oracle Wisdom. As always, starting with my favorite Ascending Life Oracle deck by Mahrukh. Have to chase her up and see if we can get her on Gemini Rising. I think she keeps a very low profile, so I'm not sure that she would do it, but you know what? We should ask the question because her cards are my favorite. I have to avoid her Etsy store because every time I go there, I end up with more decks. Okay, so it's fitting that this card is coming out because we kept seeing it coming up throughout the last couple of months of 2024. Potential new business requiring hard work. Ideas have potential for growth. Your investment paying off and a stable business steadily growing. So the fact that this card keeps coming up, I feel like it's a universe letting us know that if you've been working on something, and especially if you're watching my show all the time, it's having it come up. People sometimes think, well, that means it's all happening right now and everything's coming together. But when you're growing something new, it does take time, and it's something that you need to keep nurturing. It's not just an instantaneous thing. So I feel like this card serves as a reminder that you need to keep nurturing what you're working on, whether it be a new business venture or an idea that you have that you want to work on. I mean, the fact that we're stepping into a new year, I don't necessarily look at things as if it's a new year, so I've got to set all these intentions and things like that. I'm someone that adjusts my my goals and everything as I'm moving through the year, because I think that if we stick to just one thing, it can get a little locked in and we can become a little short-sighted. But I look at this as a reminder that things keep growing over time, but you have to keep doing the work and you have to keep nurturing. So just don't forget that. Don't get frustrated if things aren't happening on your timeline, the universe always has its own timing. And let me assure you, it's never the same as the timing that we have. So the next card out is Snake, time of healing, shed old skin, secret knowledge, jealous and envy. One of my favorite cards. First of all, I love snakes just as animals. I've done photo shoots with them all over me, and I think they're amazing. I feel like time of healing and shedding old skin are the most pertinent things at the moment. Again, timing, the fact that we're stepping into a new year. It is a time to set new intentions and really look at what it is we would like to achieve in the year ahead. And part of that is shedding the things that we feel have been holding us back. And it's that time, and it's a perfect time to be doing it. And also a time of healing. If you go and watch the January reading, there is, depending on which pile you pick, but there is talk about forgiveness, and that's been a topic over the last couple of weeks in a bunch of my readings, but it's clearly something that needs to happen at this moment in terms of forgiveness isn't about healing the other person. Forgiveness is really about healing ourselves. It's about stopping us from having to carry the burden of anger and hatred and anything else that's coming up for us. And when you forgive the other person and maybe have an understanding that they're not a bad person, but they did a bad thing, or that maybe they perceived a situation differently. Maybe you read it wrong. Maybe you didn't, but to let all of that go frees you from the burden of all of that. And I think that it's such a pertinent topic for this moment in time, because if you're able to shed all of that anger, all of that hurt, all of the weight from those feelings, then you're stepping into the new year like a new person, which is a great thing. Now, of course, it always could be the bottom two lines on this, which is secret knowledge. Who doesn't want secret knowledge? I'm going to my grave with so many secrets in my head. I love that people trust me as much as they do, but also jealousy and envy. So maybe it's directed at you, but if you are the person that is sitting in a space of jealousy and envy, you need to look at why you are feeling that way, and you need to find a way to work around it, because again, that isn't serving you. It is just going to add drama to your existence, and it doesn't serve you at all. So anytime, if I'm in a relationship and I'm watching a situation unfold and I'm getting jealous, I always take a step back and go, why are you feeling this way? Now, there's a multitude of answers that I could give, and sometimes it's that I don't feel secure in the relationship. So then the question becomes, is this the right relationship for me? But then it can also be that I'm being irrational about something because of things that have happened to me in the past, and I'm putting that on whoever's standing before me. So you need to be able to have a little self-reflection and figure out why you're being triggered that way. And maybe you're seeing someone who's more successful than you in your chosen field, and that's frustrating, and I get it. But you have to stop comparing yourself to these other people, because maybe they've worked harder than you. Maybe they just started before you. Maybe you just haven't found your niche yet because you're still figuring it out. But either way, while you're focused on that, you're not focused on doing better for yourself. So just keep all of that in mind. But let's focus on shedding our old skin and just healing in every way we can, so that we can go into the year that is going to be 2025. We know astrologically it's going to be nuts, and that's okay. We can go through the crazy transits and still have a great time. We absolutely can, and nobody will ever be able to convince me otherwise. So go into it being the best version of yourself that you possibly can. The next card is the hidden enemies and jealousy. Okay, so we've got a theme coming out: hiding true intentions, being two-faced, time to work in silence. So if you're shedding that old skin, if you're moving forward, if you're setting new intentions, you do not need to tell everybody what it is you're doing. Because as we've established, not everybody supports us. And that's okay. It's fine. That's on them. It's got nothing to do with us. But I love working in silence. I love not telling anybody what I'm doing, because sometimes things don't work out. Other times they do, but you don't need other people's bullshit coming in and throwing you off course. It's not necessary. Now, hidden enemies and jealousy. So the fact that jealousy and envy came up with the snake card, maybe there is somebody that's envious of you, but this is where, for me, I can only tell you what I do, but where I focus on meditating, cutting cords and things like that. And as I'm cutting cords, I always say, thank you for your love, but this is your energy, not mine. And I release it back to you. And I always picture, as I cut the cord, the person spinning. And when they stop spinning away from me, they're also facing away from me so that they can't see me. You have to do things to protect yourself energetically. And just pay attention to the people around you. If people are showing you who they are, if they're showing you that they're two-faced, believe them. What you choose to do after you have that information is completely up to you, but just pay attention to that. I can smell something burning. I don't have any candles going in my apartment. I don't know if something's going on at the neighbor's house, but this is a bit strange. It almost smells like candles. I'm so sorry. It's so weird. I've never had this happen before. I can smell when they're cooking and things like that. I just don't want somebody to be on fire. Anyway. You can't make this shit up. Okay. So the next card is fire and renewal. Powerful inner transformation. Leave old flames, embrace the new, release of energy and emotions, playing with fire. So, I mean, this is a perfect card as we step into the new year. It is a time of renewal. It is a time of leaving the old and embracing the new. And it's up to you if it's a powerful time of transformation. I think it absolutely can be. I think it's the right time, whereas a collective, we tend to I think we all tend to, if we're all raising our vibration at the same time, you feel it collectively. And I think that's a wonderful thing. So embrace this time of renewal. And then, of course, and again, release of energy and emotions. Everything that I was talking about in terms of jealousy, envy, and all of those emotions, it is time to release it. And sometimes if you have the ability to have an open fire or something like that, write what you need to release and then throw it in the fire. Have a moment of almost like a bit of a ceremony to release all of that energy if you're able to. I just hope my neighbors aren't playing with fire, because seriously, it's really strong. Boredom, bored of daily routine, wanting more out of life, longing for a change, constrained by circumstances. If that is how you're feeling, it is the perfect time to make changes. And you have to be brave in this moment. You need to be able to make the change. But I get it. I mean, we get to the end of a year and it feels like a lot has been going on. And we feel like we do get stuck in a bit of a routine and a bit of a rut. So if you need something different, yes, Anne Elizabeth, I do have a fire alarm, and I've also got a carbon monoxide thing up in my bedroom. So I'm trusting that if anything gets too dangerous, it will warn me. But yeah, so listen, coming to the end of the year, everybody gets a bit funny and all of that. But if that's how you're feeling, maybe one of the new intentions that you need to set is what it is you're going to change so that all of that can shift for you. All right, so I'm going to pull two more of these. Third party, others interfering in your business. Sorry, I was reading that word wrong. Possible love triangle, too many people involved, someone is watching you. Okay, so with all the jealousy and hidden enemy cards and all of this, and the fact that somebody is watching you has come up, I feel like the jealousy is probably coming from someone else. And it's always nice to, yes, I can see the high vibe comments. I've got both chats open. So there's clearly somebody, and listen, we don't want that energy focused on us, but at the same time, it's nice that people are, you want them to be inspired by you. You don't want them to be jealous of you. So this is sort of the energy that we need to shift. So I would highly recommend doing a meditation, cord cutting. If anybody hasn't done something like that before, the way I do it is once I sort of breathe and get myself down to a state of stillness, I picture or I ask to see any of the cords attached to me from others. And then when I see it, for me, everybody pictures this differently, but the way I visualize it is I have a machete and it sort of runs down the curves of my body and cuts every single attachment from me, and then I release it out into the world. If you're in a love triangle, I hope that you're able to figure it out. Others interfering in your business, I feel like that's a big thing. Everybody has an opinion, and we don't always need their opinions. It's part of why it's good to work in silence until there is a need for people to know things. So just keep that in mind. Protect your space, protect what you are doing, and don't let these other people sort of jump in and also get into your head. And I mean, too many people involved. Once one person has an opinion and people start talking, then it goes on and on and on and on, and it's not helpful and you don't need it. So just shut that down. Okay, there's our last one. Lightning, sudden fast change, taking quick action, shocking events, love striking you unexpectedly. So whatever's coming in will move quickly, which for me, I find really exciting. And that'll shift the boredom. I mean, so, and look, if it's love striking you unexpectedly, how much fun is that? I especially like it when it comes in when somebody's going, no, I'm not feeling it. I don't want it, or whatever it is. And then suddenly, there it is. And taking quick action. Maybe you've been sitting on something or a decision you have to make, and suddenly it's time and you have to make that call and make that decision, and you do it quickly. It's always a good thing. All right, so I'm going to pull just 3 cards from the Shamans Dream Oracle. I love this deck, and I know Anne loves this deck as well because we often compare notes on which cards we have. Caterpillar, opportunity. I always love this card because of the coloring, and I love that it's got more of a cat face with all the eyeballs on the body. But just opportunity is going to present itself. It's a new year. It's a time when people are looking to change things up, and I feel like that is going to bring these new opportunities in the best possible way. Now, while I was still shuffling, this card came out, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. And I feel like, first of all, if we look at it literally, we are between 2024 and 2025. Like I said, it's now 5:27 in Australia, and they're getting ready to celebrate the new year. So by the time we all wake up in the morning, for those of us that are in Canada and America, half the world's already going to be in 2025, and we're not even there yet. But straddling between worlds, I feel like there's so much that's shifting at the moment for so many people, and we're in this weird in-between space, and the end of the year is always weird. The last week to 2 weeks of any given year, it almost feels as if the whole world stops. It almost stops spinning, it stops functioning, and all of that. And we're all getting ready for what's to come. And the reality is you are in a position where you can make the choices that you need to make or want to make the year whatever it is you would like. And you're kind of ready to go, but you can't really do anything yet because we're not there yet. So just know that it's coming. The opportunities are coming, and you won't be straddling the two worlds for very long, but that's just the position that you're in. But just know that that is that those opportunities are coming through for you. So we'll pull one more. Dancing on one foot, a balancing act. I feel like this is how people have been living for the last little while. And to me, this card is almost representing where we've been versus where we're going. And this is what we have coming up. So this is going to end. We don't need to balance on one foot anymore. We don't need to keep our balance, and if we topple, everything sort of goes tumbling. It's not that at all. So just know that feeling of instability is coming to an end. And we are going to finish with the Sword of Light, the Archangel Michael's Sword of Light Oracle. I also love this deck. I was sitting here before we got started and I was like, what decks do I want to use? And I was thinking, do I pull something new as we go to step in? And in my head, I was like, nope, we're sticking with my favorites because it's the perfect way to sort of finish off the year. So I'll pull two from here. And Roots and Waves in the comments on YouTube has said that we're going into the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac. So that's very fitting that the snake card came out. I haven't even looked at the Chinese astrology yet. Okay. Your loved ones are safe. Let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I am looking after them. So if you've been concerned about how people will cope either with what you're doing or how they're going to move into 2025, know that they are protected. A very good friend of mine who lives in the UK lost his mother, I think yesterday morning. And I've been talking to him and messaging about how his family are finally reunited, or his parents are finally reunited. And the reality is that we're never alone when we cross over, because you've always got all of our ancestors and all of their loved ones waiting for them on the other side. But not only that, as we're still here on this earth, those same ancestors and relatives and people that we loved, whether they were blood relatives or just soul family, they are guiding and protecting all of us. So, moving away from home and moving away from my family was difficult, but I had to trust that my dad would be okay and that he would be protected and that I could do what was right for me. And the reality is he's fine. We miss each other, but we talk regularly, all of this. So just know that your loved ones are also safe and protected and guided in their own way, and you are good to go and do what you need to do. Okay, and we are going to pull one more. Change is coming. I'm here to guide you through this exciting transformation. This is a time of joyous opportunities. What a perfect way to end this reading. I mean, the card, I realize they're butterflies, but it reminds me of fireworks, all the bright colors in the sky. As we step into this new year, and before we get to the Chinese New Year, it depends which sort of new year you want to celebrate. For me, I celebrate them all. I see every one of them as an opportunity to sort of set fresh intentions, to reevaluate all of this. But while I know there's wild astrology, I feel like 2025 is going to be amazing because I choose to make it amazing. I choose to move through this world in a positive way, and and how I choose to approach things and how I choose to deal with situations that are thrown in my path. I can only control what I can control, but I can make it the best that I can possibly make it. And I know that that works for all of you. And as Anne Elizabeth in the comments said, we got a caterpillar and we got the butterflies. So that change and that transformation is absolutely happening and activated. So I hope this resonates with some of you, if not all of you. As I always say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm so glad that I have I've had so many of you in the live chat, both on YouTube and on High Vibe, because the last few times we've done this, I have done it very late at night. So thank you all for joining me. I do hope that you all have a very safe and happy New Year's Eve. And let's all together make 2025 freaking amazing. Don't forget to check out the January 2025 monthly Oracle Wisdom, which is up on YouTube. If you're on High Vibe, I'll put the link in the comments below. And Gemini Rising, Wednesday the 8th. That's going to be happening. We'll announce the time on Facebook and Instagram. And also go to Gemini Brett's page and watch Anne on New Year's Day with Gemini Brett. That's going to be an amazing conversation. So thank you all so much for supporting me this year in 2024 when I launched the weekly Oracle Wisdom. My gosh, I think back to those first few episodes where I kept telling you all how nervous I was and I didn't really trust myself when I already knew I could do this. Thank you all for being patient. Thank you for your continued support. And let's make 2025 fucking awesome for each and every one of us. And as always, thank you to Anne for everything that she does for me, the thumbnail, setting up the lives and doing all the technical things that I'm a little awkward with. So thank you so much, everyone. Sending you all the love, and I will see you next week.